Reagan with Texas Defense Articulations. Again, you can check us out on texasdefenseart.com. Check us out where we're at, all the classes we offer, sign up for a class, buy a hat, any of those particular things to help me out. None of this content that I've ever supported for you guys is sponsored. No one pays for anything except me. I did have one guy give me some ammunition for a gun that he owned that he didn't build. So that's about the only sponsorship I get. Someone will have a gun for me to review, and they may give me a little ammunition to review that gun that is literally theirs. We are going to talk today about the Staccato P. I was intrigued when they started releasing this as under the Staccato name. It's a double stack 1911. Man, they've got a lot of experience making double stack 1911 pistols. When I was heavy into competition, as heavy as I ever got into competition, that was 99% of the pistols I shot and saw other people shoot were going to be STI pistols. So they took a lot of experience and revamped it into Staccato name. There's a whole big thing on how all that happened. I don't care. Does the pistol work or does it not? So I've heard nothing but good things about these guns when it comes to their reliability. I've had quite a few of them show up in class, and I like to say that I have had nothing to counter that. I have seen nothing but reliability out of them, save for one that had some out of battery issues that might have just been attributed to it wasn't quite broken in yet. These are, you'll hear me refer to them a lot of times as Ferrari pistols. The 1911, 2011 platform is a Ferrari compared to your Glocks and your M&Ps and Echelons. Those are your Hyundais, whatever you want to say. Toyotas, they're great things, but they are not quite the race that these are. My buddy Olson decided to loan this to me. I haven't shot a boatload through one individual pistol. I'm just like, man, they're cool. But there are some, I don't want to say gripes, but there are some downsides, there are some upsides. So one of the unspoken downsides to these guns is they eat ammunition. You don't quite realize how many rounds you're going through. As you'll see, like several times I will run a few drills over and over again, and by the time it's over with, I've realized I've burnt through 40 rounds pretty quick with one magazine change. So yeah, that's that unspoken, the gift that keeps on taking. You know, you do have to provide a lot of ammunition for these guns if you like to shoot them the way they are meant to be shot. So not really a gripe or anything like that. But one of the things I actually truly like, I'm not a huge fan of, is the way this whole rear end of the gun is fitted into the hand. For the price point that these guns come in at, this back area right here will give you some hot spots on your hand. Now when I say that, I'm also talking about staying out all day shooting, competing, training, any of that sort of thing. You'll see a lot of hot spots on your hand. With my other 2011s that run, honestly, not much more than this, and one of them right about the same price, there's none of that because this is all nicely, very well fitted into the back of the hand. So there's no such thing as hot spots with those particular guns. So that's kind of one of those like, man, I really wish that was a little bit smoother, done just a little bit better. But they definitely put all their time into where it counts. Not seen any legitimate reliability issues out of any of the guns that have showed up to any of my courses. You can shoot these guns really fast just straight out of the box if speed is your main goal. The way I shoot videos and stuff, you see me shooting fast a lot. Not really the way I teach an enormous amount. There are some downsides to just constantly trying to beat the timer. One of the weird things, nothing to do with the gun, is this Surefire came off a couple times. I'll throw that in the B-reel on there so you guys can see it. Just wasn't quite clicked into place. Once I finally got that thing locked in there, it stayed on there. But that was a unique thing that I was weirded out. Either way, great guns. The only thing that's different on this one is this trigger shoe has been swapped out. Of course, it has a Trijicon RMR whatever HD on this one. I wasn't sure that I was going to like the RMR HD. I actually do not like the regular RMR at all. Never been a fan of it, other than it's super rugged. That's undebatable. But I didn't like the size of the window. Well, this window is significantly bigger, so I do like that. It is supposed to be almost as rugged as the original RMR, which was its only real benefit. Notch filter's still pretty blue, so it kind of cuts down on being able to do proper target discrimination and training under night vision. I've had some issues with that a little bit. Nothing crazy or anything like that from the few that I've used under there, but definitely like clearer glass better for night vision shooting. Other than that, one of the things I was not sure about was how much this hangs over the ejection port right here. I was sure it was going to get sooted up real bad. I've had that with other optics a few times, depending on how they were mounted, where it just sooted the glass up pretty quick, where you just got to keep your glass clean more often. We put it at least 300 rounds through it just for the shooting of this video, and clear as day, didn't have any issues, no nicks or anything from brass hitting it or anything like that. So that crisis is averted. It doesn't seem to bother this gun or anything like that, because it does hang out over that ejection port a decent amount. So I often get asked, like, well, what is the benefit to this? Benefit to a Staccato versus anything else? You can get one of these pretty easily. Most of the 2011s I have that I've held, you had to pay a down payment for, which is usually about half, and then you had to pay the rest out, and it usually takes about 6 months, and some of them even take a year, year and a half to get a gun completed. That's a huge issue if you need one of these. So this gun tends to adhere to a duty rating. Like, they are very reliable. The way I like to say it is, if I was joining law enforcement, I do train law enforcement, jiu-jitsu, and in firearms training. If I was going to join law enforcement, yes, this was the gun that I would want to carry. However, I will caveat that by saying I train a lot. You guys can't tell from the videos, I train a lot with the 1911-2011 platform. This is not a novice shooter's gun. Not every LEO needs one of these, or should have one of these. I'm not trying to tell everybody that I'm better than them, but I do go out and I do train a decent amount. Law enforcement does not have the time throughout the year to be able to go constantly train. So this is a Ferrari. Like, you have to learn how to drive that Ferrari. If you go back into some of the old books out there, you'll see, especially like About Face by David Hackworth, he talks about the 1911 platform, even in Vietnam, having more casualties on the friendly side than it did towards the enemy, simply because the training regimen was not there. So I can talk for 20 minutes about that. That's not what you guys are on the video for, so I'm not going to divulge into it much more. Suffice it to say, stick with your Glocks, unless you're one of those guys who really likes to train, and then you can go grab yourself one of these. But you're going to want to put some serious rounds through it and train properly, not just what looks cool for the gram. Says the guy shooting a video for YouTube and the gram. So anyway, hope this helps, and yeah, if there's nothing else for you guys, out.